The mayor rarely speaks with media, and she mostly delegated her defense lawyer's work to her. Speaking with WGN News, he claims that by removing her security team, Freeman jeopardized the safety of the Henyard.
He's out when she says he's out.
How is he putting you at risk?
You can ask that.
Is it that there's speculation that prosecutors are putting pressure on him to cooperate with their investigation into you?
No, we're talking about the removal of security details.
Safety in the Henyard is not new, has assumed a significant role.
I am giving you guys $5,000. Y'all ain't here. Y'all is $5,000 to you. So please go on to negotiate.org.
In a breathtaking revelation, documents exposing Mayor Tiffany Henyard's lavish spending habits reveal that tens of thousands of dollars of government money were wasted on first-class travel, upscale lodging, and private shopping sprees. When you thought things couldn't get much worse, read on as we reveal the startling details of Henyard's spending spree. What does this say about her dedication to serve the people of Mayor Henyard? She has enlisted the services of a lawyer whose past has been so contentious that it's difficult to imagine. Bo Brindley, who is best known for defending well-known individuals with dubious tax histories, is now defending Henyard. The story unfolds as Bo Brindley, who previously defended R. Kelly's manager in a controversial case, is implicated in this. What does this imply for her already damaged reputation? Discover why this lawyer's background could spell doom for the mayor's future. Currently employed by Mayor Henyard, is Henyard expecting that Brinkley's unconventional strategies will help her case, or is there another reason for her surprising choice of attorney? Find out which ties could endanger Henry's political future in this sinister play. A new lawsuit accusing Mayor Henyard of covering up a serious assault event takes a dark turn for the controversy. The lawsuit alleges that Henyard put the victim on unpaid leave to silence her after learning about the assault. What does this mean for Henyard's already precarious standing? To the details of this explosive legal battle and its possible impact. The situation worsens as Henyard's legal team disintegrates amid a federal investigation and scandalous revelations, her lawyer's credibility being called into question.
So while we can't put our hands together, while we can't dance together at this time at this moment, it's going to be like this, right? Y'all all still going to listen to the energy. But guess what? I am the truth. So now that you got to stand with me.
Is this the start of Mayor Henyard's downfall? Observe as we examine the fallout from her legal team's unexpected resignation and what it implies for her political career. The controversial mayor of Dothan, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard, has stirred things up again, but this time it's not her ostentatious spending or turbulent board meetings that are creating waves. Instead, she's hired a lawyer who is so well known and involved in some of the most well-known cases in American history that everyone is left wondering what the hell she's thinking, having defended R. Kelly's manager in a disturbing child abuse case. A scandalous past tainted by bribery and con games, the largest mixer of Tiffany's choices may have been her attorney. Profession, and trust me, things don't seem good. Stay tuned as we reveal Bo Brindley's astounding past and consider how his involvement might be disastrous for Tiffany's already precarious career. From accusations of unethical spending to heated arguments at board meetings, Tiffany Henyard, Dalton's self-proclaimed leader, has always been the subject of controversy. Her name is synonymous with drama, but now Henyard has upended the status quo by hiring a lawyer whose background is so outrageous it's almost unbelievable. Bo Brindley is a man known for defending some of the most controversial figures in America, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Infamous for his own shady transactions, charges of bribery, and deceiving clients tarnish his record. If you believe this was only about selecting a lawyer with a questionable PA, you would be mistaken. Reconsider Brindley's relationship with R. Kelly's manager, who was embroiled in a child abuse scandal. To fully understand the controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard's choice of Beau Brindley, we need to delve deeper into the man's dubious past. Brindley has a long history in the legal field, but not always for the best reasons. Take one of his most notorious cases. Scandal cast serious doubts on his ethical standards. Therefore, why did Tiffany Henyard choose him? And more importantly, what does this mean for her political future? Lawsuits in support of R. Kelly's manager. Knowing anything about R. Kelly's trial will tell you that it was among the most unexpected and unsettling in recent memory. The manager of R. Kelly, who was charged with witness tampering, collusion, and abuse, has just one person in his corner. The manager was found not guilty, which, let's face it, says volumes about Beau Brindley's skill as a lawyer. But here's the real kicker. Brindley has always used, should we say extremely dubious, a number of stories throughout the years that have claimed that, among other things, he coached witnesses to fabricate evidence and even bought off officials to win his cases. Accusations of misbehavior were made against Brindley himself on September 3, 2015, coaching witnesses to obstruct justice and conspire while lying under oath. The Chicago Tribune reports that this 21-count indictment concentrated on 6 federal criminal proceedings in which Brindley represented the defense. A crucial piece of evidence against him was a series of question and answer sheets designed to prepare witnesses for trial. According to Brindley, he based his sheets on the ones prosecutors used to get witnesses ready for grand jury appearances. In his ruling, Judge Weber discounted the testimony against Brindley, pointing out that the witnesses had previously made significant deals with the U.S. government and had lied under oath. Brindley maintained that the forms were a practical approach to prepare witnesses for trial. According to the Tribune report, Oath Lambert also stated that he detested using similar question and answer scripts in his own practice and would never call a client or witness to the stand without providing them with adequate preparation. Clearly, getting clients and witnesses ready for trial is important, but where do we draw the line? Although attorneys have a duty to vigorously represent their clients, which includes explaining the law and how it applies to the case, they can cross a gray line between providing legal insight and ensuring truthful testimony when discussing how a particular testimony might impact a case. Despite a grueling legal battle, Brindley was acquitted, but questions remain about his. The debate about methodology and ethics is ongoing. A cursory glance at Brindley's Google reviews uncovers a lengthy list of complaints from former clients who claim he took their money and fled. Brindley has been accused of defrauding his own clients, allegedly pocketing thousands of dollars without fulfilling his promises. Another reviewer said, "This man is a no-good crook. He's not a lawyer. He's a criminal, terrible at his job, requests money up front then disappears. His ego is even worse. He pretends to be a recognized lawyer, but is clueless." Another reviewer even questioned whether he is still an attorney. Not quite fitting. Renown is a total joke. Tiffany Henyard has chosen this attorney. To protect her, what does this say about Tiffany's judgment? Or, more troubling, what does it reveal about what she might be hiding right now, given that she has a history of defrauding clients and defending the indefensible? Let's tackle the issue that is most pressing. The R. Kelly lawsuit and Beau Brindley's involvement. R. Kelly, who was once a major player in R&B in the 1990s and early 2000s, saw his career collapse as horrifying claims of child exploitation and sexual abuse surfaced. His manager, who was heavily involved in these heinous acts, was charged with serious crimes.
There will be no comment or be anything that will be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on in Phillips Township.
When we address you?
Henyard called Wednesday's special meeting, she said, in response to a series of ordinances the village's board passed last week to manage event spending. In video of the August 20th meeting provided to ABC7 by the Lansing Journal.
And we're just going into her quote here because, again, maybe some of her trustees are finally starting to fall off bit by bit. It's just taking a little bit longer than expected, which is crazy. Today, I'm breaking my silence and speaking out against Thornton Township Supervisor and Mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard, who I believe has engaged in unethical and predatory behavior throughout her tenure. Man, I gotta use this. Wow. Okay, and this is Carmen Carlisle, okay, who wrote this emailed statement to this.
Push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people don't buy it. Because right now, consider what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
So when we see all of this back and forth, when we see this going back and forth, have you?
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by business.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
When Henyard hits the road, she and other village and township officials.
Okay. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going through the fires for y'all. Y'all should be ashamed of y'all because y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Motion to terminate Keith Freeman.
Henyard announced his termination last week.
Her own people's, from her own town's bank accounts, okay? And it's wild, right? Millions of dollars. What I find really interesting about this situation is that it seems like the rest of the world who's been following this is following it because they all understood the assignment. They all understood what was going on. Now, it seems like one other board of trustees, okay, finally got the memo. Yeah, I think she finally.
And I've seen this happen before with school districts. I've seen this happen before with city councils. Have you called in the state to come mediate?
Did I call in the state?
Have you called them? Have you reached out to the state to come in and mediate what's going on here? So I've seen school boards where you have lots of drama, and Texas Education Agency, comes in and deals with that. And you're having these issues there. Have you reached out to state lawmakers? Have you reached out to state representatives?
So please come out this Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. right here on 144th of Greenwood, where we will light the Christmas tree. And we got a ton of festivities here going out for you.
And as you can see, we're still laying groundwork, even with so much negative, but look at all the positives. Come down Greenwood. I say Greenwood, not Chicago, not South Holland, and not Evergreen. Come down and see what we're doing in Dalton down Greenwood. The work.
However, Bentley intervened and was able to clear him for context STL. McDavid R. covering up Kelly's crimes was made possible in large part by her former business manager. MC David was in charge of giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to people who had access to videos purportedly capturing Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl. In his testimony, Charles Freeman stated that David had employed him to locate these damaging tapes. Freeman's testimony painted a horrifying picture of the lengths Kelly and his allies went to in order to shield the disgraced singer. He described being sent to Georgia in order to retrieve one of the tapes that he found in a private home's VCR. The tape purportedly showed Kelly engaging in sexual activity with the young girl, a piece of evidence that proved crucial in Kelly's 2008 child pornography trial. Even after recovering the tape, Freeman made multiple copies of it out of fear that McDavid and private investigator Jack Palladino, who were running the operation, might not give him the full amount promised. Freeman's testimony was devastating. It spoke for both McDavid and Brinley, who was spearheading McDavid's defense. Branley's tactic was to present Free as an extortionist in order to undermine his credibility. One action that caused a great deal of reaction, and the case further cemented Brinkley's reputation as a litigator who will stop at nothing to win instances. However, in 2022, the narrative won't end there. The woman testified that Darl McDavid, the former business manager of R. Kelly, had threatened her life in an illicit tape after she had returned. Lisa Van and Allen, Kelly's girlfriend at the time, had taken the tape. The woman claimed that McDavid had told her that they should have murked me from the start, which she took to mean that she would end her life. Allen, who also appeared in the documentary that survived R. Kelly, testified regarding her relationship with her and the reason she took the tape. She disclosed that, contrary to what she had previously said during Kelly's 2008 trial, she began dating Kelly at the age of 18, not 17. During their time together, Kelly introduced her to a young girl, whom he claimed to have introduced to their family as his 16-year-old neighbor. Van recalled feeling very touched by these interactions, and Kelly documented them. Feeling uneasy and even sobbing during one of the activities in 2000 while alone in Kelly's recording studio, Allen found and took a tape featuring footage of her and the young girl, as well as 2 other scenes of Kelly with the same girl. She sent the tape to a friend in Kansas City to prevent Kelly from viewing it. But 6 years later, after learning that Kelly was willing to pay $250,000 to get the tape back, Finn Allen and another person decided to return it to him during the trial. Brindley Van Allen was asked why she returned the tape to Kelly if her initial goal was to stop him from viewing it. However, during the 2008 trial, Van Allen had testified she had never seen a tape featuring just Kelly and the young girl, a claim that now contradicted. Current evidence, after all. On the 9th day of R. Kelly's trial, Allen testified. The prosecutors claimed that Kelly and his inner circle, which included McDavid and co-defendant Milton Brown, had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years obtaining tapes showing Kelly engaging in illegal activities with minors. Many people are wondering why Tiffany Henyard, a public figure, would hire someone like Brindley given the prosecution's claims that this was all part of a larger plot to conceal Kelly's crimes and obstruct justice. Given the dubious nature of Brindley's previous cases, is she hoping for a similar outcome and relying on Brindley's dubious tactics to get Regal out of trouble? Or could there be a more sinister motive? Because it's obvious that Henyard's decision to recruit Brindley is a risky move that could backfire. The public's reaction to Tiffany Henyard's decision has been overwhelmingly negative, with many questioning her judgment and wondering why she would hire a lawyer with such a contentious past. But it's not just the public that is in disarray. In a dramatic turn of events, the law firm that was supposed to defend the city and the mayor have both resigned, citing financial strain. Henyard may be in deeper trouble than she admits, and there may be more going on behind the scenes, which is significant. Nessie, will his questionable methods be sufficient to save Henyard, or would they ultimately prove to be her undoing? Here's where it becomes even more fascinating. There are real footage clips showing Brindley attending meetings of the Dokken Village Board alongside Henyard. Only time will tell. This well-known criminal defense lawyer has started attending city meetings, which is unusual but not unnoticed. The 2 criminal lawyers sat directly beside Henyard during the entire meeting and even attended the board's closed executive session. This is particularly noteworthy because Henyard is currently the subject of an ongoing FBI corruption investigation. Our main worry is that she may use them as her criminal defense team, in which case the village will have to pay the costs. When asked whether it was appropriate, Norwood said, "Not at all," according to an EST statement. Brindley, a former federal prosecutor, asserted that Mayor Henyard had hired him to evaluate the board's behavior and identify any violations of local law. Since Mayor Henyard is not facing any charges and Brindley maintains that the village is not paying him, it begs the question, why in the world is a federal criminal lawyer sitting next to you at a village board meeting? Bert Austin, the municipal attorney, can only reply, "Really, Odson, who represents the 4 trustees in conflict with Henyard, argues that the criminal lawyers had no business attending board meetings and that it would be illegal to pay them with village funds. We've seen it happen numerous times in Chicago when politicians are indicted, but the costs of their criminal defense are not covered by the town." With her legal team in disarray, an FBI investigation imminent, and now this major misstep by her lawyer, it's hard to see how she can recover from this Brindley's involvement, which was supposed to be her lifeline. This could be the last nail in the coffin. According to Hudson, who said that this could signal the beginning of Henyard's demise. Despite being in a position of power, Tiffany Henyard's political career has been nothing short of turbulent over the years. Her actions have frequently aroused outrage and suspicion from the public and her colleagues. Among the most notable controversies is the allegation of financial mismanagement critics have leveled against her, charged her with mismanaging public funds, raising serious concerns about her openness and responsibility as a public servant. For months, her financial activities were the subject of intense scrutiny and widespread suspicion, even when Illinois Attorney General Henyard's office demanded that the village provide these documents. The Henyard administration was accused of obstructing the release of spending records, a clear violation of state transparency laws. She and her allies pushed back against this resistance, raising serious red flags, but the truth has a way of coming to light. Following litigation by a major news outlet, Sue, and Cook County Circuit Court to compel the production of that information, a judge ultimately mandated Dalton to reveal dozens of pages of papers, including credit card statements that paint an unsettling image. It's shocking to discover how much money Henyard and her administration spent on personal shopping sprees, first-class travel, luxurious hotels, and even mate D. Between July and November 2023 alone, they spent tens of thousands of dollars on such ostentatious expenses. The most shocking example was a 5-day trip to Austin, Texas in July 2023, during which Henyard, her top aide Keith Freeman, and 3 township officials spent over $20,000 of taxpayer funds. The receipts show shocking amounts like $1,669 at the upscale Fairmont Austin, $389 at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, and even $53 on sports riding apparel. But it doesn't stop there. Over $224,700 were spent at local restaurants and Uber Eats. $3,400 and $91 on Henyard. The lavish expenditure scandal is merely the beginning of the story. She is currently entangled in a far more serious dispute, a civil action alleging assault while on a business trip to Las Vegas. The lawsuit was filed in April 2024 and names Henyard and a village trustee as defendants. The former assistant who brought forward the allegations claims she was assaulted by the trustee during the trip, is a true citizen of Dalton and an Emma survivor, and she stated the details are chilling. According to White MTV, which obtained a copy of the complaint, the former employee reported feeling disoriented and extremely late after dining with the unidentified trustee on the Vegas trip. She allegedly woke up the next morning in the trustees. There were suggestions that the employee might not have been able to consent. The complaint reveals that Miles requested the trustee switch to a video call so he could assess the situation as a law enforcement officer who had just been alerted to a possible crime. During the call, the trustee panned the camera, poured a bed showing a woman who was partially undressed, then moved the camera to various private areas of the woman's body, displaying them on Vine TV. A separate complaint filed by Officer Byron Miles, a member of ARD's $1 million security detail, claims that the trustee called and FaceTimed him the night of the alleged assault, boasting about the incident. Miles claims that the employee might not have been able to consent. Screening and changing or removing garments, the role Mayor Henyard played in the aftermath of the alleged assault, is even more concerning. According to the former assistant, when she and a police officer reported the incident to Henyard, the mayor initially appeared shocked and assured them that she would handle it. However, instead of protecting her employee, Henyard allegedly placed the woman on unpaid medical leave without her consent, effectively silencing her. The case has sparked widespread outrage, with many calling for Henyard's resignation. The trustee involved has denied the allegations, saying he was only attempting to help his colleague, who he believed to be intoxicated. The lawsuit contains evidence that the trustee boasted in a FaceTime call. About the attack exposes a considerably more worrisome situation, with Bo Bringley's dubious past and contentious involvement in the R. Kelly case. Tiffany Henyard's hiring selection has only served to further elucidate the enigma surrounding her legal issues. The Dalton mayor's situation is getting worse as the FBI investigation continues and her legal team fails to bring Trav to justice. Brinley is by no means the ideal attorney, especially for a high-profile public figure like Henyard. Her recent gaffes have only served to highlight the possibility that Henyard made a grave mistake in judgment. Please check back for updates.